been getting really into World War III lately. I just think it's the best shooter that's come out in a long time. It still feels a little indie, but the gunplay is just so amazing, and AAA games have been garbage, so I'm a little bit addicted. And when I started playing, like, I could have swore I was blind or something because I was getting shot from every direction, and I just couldn't see any enemies. And while us gamers usually just crank everything onto low so we get every single frame that we can, sometimes you actually need to see the enemies. So I'm going to show you guys my graphics settings so that you can have an easier time spotting enemies. And then we're going to hop out of game and I'm going to show you guys one more little trick to increase visibility. Be sure to like and subscribe for more World War III content. Alright, so now that we're in game, let's go to our settings tab. We're going to click gameplay and go over to advanced. We want to make sure camera shake and head roll are set as low as possible. These are terrible settings and should never be in games. Alright, now let's head over to our video settings, and I do want to just mention that I play on 120 field of view, and as we get down towards our main graphics settings, I just want to point out that motion blur needs to be set to 0. Again, this is another terrible setting that will impact your ability to spot enemies, and I do play with the sharpen significantly higher. I'm a little older than a lot of you young kids, so I need the extra clarity. Now, as we go down to our main graphic settings, we don't want fog in our games. Foggy atmospheres make it harder to see enemies, and this is a no-go, so we're going to disable that. And as gamers, a lot of times we want to put all of our settings on low to squeeze out every frame possible, but I found it a lot harder to spot enemies with my graphics settings on low, so I upped them to ultra, and the clarity and sharpness of the image was definitely worth it for me. And just for transparency, I do play on a 3080 Ti, so a pretty beefy PC, but I noticed no impact to my frame rates when textures and meshes were up on ultra. Pretty much everything else I have on low, except for view distance is on medium and foliage is on medium. And if you play around and switch some of the settings, I just wanted to point out shadows should always be low. We want as few shadows in the game as possible because that makes it harder to see campers in dark areas. And I also run anti-aliasing on low. Anti-aliasing makes characters and backgrounds kind of blend in together to look nice and smooth. We want jagged edges so that the characters stand out from the background. Now, there are actually two ways to increase enemy visibility that doesn't actually happen in the game settings. So the first way is if you have a NVIDIA card, hit Alt-Z. Go to game filters, and you'll notice World War III is very desaturated in general, which makes it hard to pick out enemies from their backgrounds. So we're going to add a game filter. We're going to click the add tab, go down to color. You want everything set on 0 except for vibrance. I would up this to around 75, and you'll notice how much brighter the characters get. And I'm going to put some before and after screenshots in the video too, so you guys can see the difference in clarity. Now, World War III in general is very desaturated, which does make it hard to spot enemies. So we're going to go to a desktop, right-click, go to the NVIDIA control panel. Once the control panel pops up, go to Adjust Desktop Color Settings. Go down to where it says Digital Vibrance. It should start on 50%, and up this to about 75. Once you get in game, the color should pop out much clearer, which will make it a lot easier to spot enemies. Angels, I hope these settings help you guys frag out in World War III. I'm going to play a few clips now with these graphic settings on. Enjoy the gameplay, guys. Champ out.
Alpha 1 is under attack. Unit is ready for deployment. Our units are taking hold of objective Bravo 2. We are losing. Enemy airstrike fast approaching. Ready for deployment. Under attack.
wyeliminowany!
Objective Alpha 1 is under attack.
Łeb jeden z drugim! Masakrę!
Штаба обороны Москвы доводит до сведения граждан, что подступы к столице контролируются нашими вооруженными силами. Сдача города войскам противника исключена.